Hi, welcome to Gardening of Bon Terre. It's Ken. I'm going to do a little better introduction to what I'm doing here. And so here we go. These are my greenhouses. I have one. I've actually cleared it out right now because it's been so wet that it's just too muddy in there. And I'm probably going to put some type of foam or plastic rubber mat down. This is the one, I don't know if you can see that. I keep adults and juveniles. I name them like people. From a 6-inch plant all the way to full-grown plant. And then I have another greenhouse here. That when after they germinate and I have a nice little plant with them in the 6 compartment containers that I grow them in the beginning. Then I transplant them into a 4-inch pot and put them in here for a little while. Actually, in here, or this is my little section where I have fruit trees, and I need to label one more. I have 2 plums, 3 peaches, and a mango. I don't know if mango is going to grow here in South Louisiana, but I'm going to give it a shot. On this side, I have cuttings. I have 2 Better Boys, a beefsteak, a nice little beefsteak, a baby beefsteak down here, and that's a Bush Goliath. In this section, these are all Creole tomatoes, which grows really well here. I have grown those from seed. I have one San Marzano that I grew from seed. Down here I have some melons, a sugar baby watermelon, a honeydew melon, and a crimson sweet watermelon. And those are getting close to being able to go in the ground. I will show you where I'm going to put them. And these are my prized possessions. These are, that one's not doing very well. These are beefsteak Creole hybrids that I did this spring. Harvested the seeds, and now I'm trying to grow some nice tomato plants. It makes a fantastic meaty tomato. Right here is where I grow melons. I'm about to put these cantaloupe. I grew those from seeds from cantaloupe that I grew in the spring. And I'm going to also put the watermelons and the honeydew out here. Tomorrow I will get the tiller out and till all this up and plant my melons. Now these are the tomatoes that came from the greenhouse. These are the juveniles and the adults. These are some beefsteaks that I grew from cuttings from the beefsteak plants I had in the spring. They made great tomatoes, but they didn't make a lot. The yield was not that good on them. These are all cuttings that I got from those. These are cuttings that I got from the Creole tomato plants that I grew in the spring. And these are growing nicely. What I'm trying to do right now is have a second crop of tomatoes that I grow into the winter in greenhouses to see how deep into the winter I can still have tomato plants growing nicely and harvesting great tomatoes. These are beefsteak plants, bigger beefsteak plants that I grew from cuttings. They're really nice, and some of them are pretending to flower. That one had flowered, but it didn't make any tomatoes. And I have some of these look like they are about to flower. I'm hoping that I can get some nice tomatoes out of them. The plants that I cut them from had this black fungus that is on everything in this area. All the trees on this property have that fungus, and so we're battling it right now. That is another smaller beefsteak. Now this is a Creole. I actually bought this plant after mine had run their course and they weren't making any more tomatoes. I bought this plant, and it is, I don't know if we can see one, but those flowers, I pollinated them myself, and I am almost positive there's a little bit, where is it at? That is going to be a tomato right there. So, and this is another Creole. They're beautiful little plants, and I'm going to get a few tomatoes off of that one here shortly. It's flowered, and I pollinated them. This is a plant that I picked up, I think, at Tractor Supply. I think it was Tractor Supply. I was just there getting some stuff, and it's a Heinz ketchup heirloom tomato plant. The one I guess they used to make the ketchup. It's a pretty little plant, and I hope that it makes a great tomato. I don't know. It hasn't flowered. Oh, well, it has some baby flowers on it, so we might be. Those are brand new. Hopefully, I may get some tomatoes here shortly. Now this, it's kind of gnarly looking, but it was beautiful up until about 3 weeks ago. A bad storm blew through, and my greenhouse got flipped over and blown around in the yard. I had to catch it, rebuild it, kind of anchor it down to the ground better. And this was the only plant that got hurt in the accident. It was thrown about 12 feet from where it was, but it's making a little comeback. And I got 2 great cuttings off of it, so I have some cuttings growing with that come from this plant, and they look beautiful, and I think they look great. This tomato plant is a Phoenix. It's got the only real tomato in the yard actually right now, and it's growing nicely. Hopefully those other ones may grow a tomato on those. I don't know. They look a little brown. I don't think they're going to get a tomato, but maybe it'll grow more and flower some more. This is a Bonnie Centennial. It is a beautiful little plant that has not flowered yet, but I have high hopes for it. The tomatoes look great. I've never grown that type of tomato before, and I'm just looking for, basically, I'll plant any kind of tomato that I think will enhance my ability to develop a great hybrid tomato. Now, I'm going to go up front. I have plants actually in 3 different areas on this property. As you can see, it's beautiful. I live on the edge of the cane field here in Terrebonne Parish, and this is an old piece of property. That's my next door neighbor's house. He's actually my next door neighbor landlord. His name is Rudy, and he's a cool guy. They own about 80 acres here, and basically I have the run of it. This is a great old oak tree. It's about 100 years old. That's next door to me, behind Travis's house, and I don't know if you can see these good. Let me zoom in. See, Mr. Rudy has That is a Louisiana sweet orange tree that makes the best tasting oranges you're ever gonna have in your life. That's the kumquat tree. And then in the back, Mr. Rudy has um, navel oranges. I think it's tangerines and satsumas. And then he has another oak tree back there. It's beautiful. It's about, I think that one's about 75 years old. Um, and then this is a different kind of oak. I think this is what they call a white oak. This is in my backyard. Um, and it's only about 30 years old. Okay, so here's my second area that I plant different things. I have some fruit trees growing here. That's a fig tree. And that is actually a Japan plum tree that got infected with that fungus, and I've been treating it with a copper fungicide, and it's responding very well. I had to prune it back to nothing, and start treating it with that medicine, and it seems to be reacting very well. The fig tree had it also. This is a mammoth jalapeno that has probably made 150 jalapeno peppers this year. It's an unbelievable little plant. It's a grafted plant. You can see the graft on the bottom. I don't know what the root system is, but it's a grafted jalapeno plant. And it's fantastic. It's the best jalapeno plant I've ever had in my life. And that's two more jalapeno plants on there. They're small, but they're actually making jalapenos. This one is still making. I picked like 14 or 15 jalapenos off it the other day, and it's got flowers and new jalapenos. This is a Better Boy tomato plant that I got from. This is grown from a cutting that I got off of my dad's plant. He's made a bunch of tomatoes on his this year, and this one is actually about to make some tomatoes in my second crop tomato attempt here. And this is another cutting off the same plant. It's a beautiful little plant, and it is flowering, and I am pollinating, and I hope to make some good tomatoes off of there. I'm going to cross-pollinate it with the Creole plant if I get the opportunity. Now this is an area that I have cantaloupe. All of those plants are cantaloupe. I have them separated like that because I'm going to buy two pieces of 4x8 lattice work that I'm going to make like a little tent out of. I'm going to put right up against the plants on the ground and just make a little tent, put them together and anchor it down, and I'm going to let them grow across it. And then I will, when I make cantaloupe, I'll show you what I'm going to do. I saw this on YouTube where you use pantyhose, or like the short pantyhose that ladies wear, only goes to their knee or something, and you use that to hold the cantaloupe off the ground. And I can't wait to try that. So I'm gonna walk around. I also have. It's been raining every day here for a month, but the lawn looks fantastic, I think. It's beautiful. It's actually St. Augustine grass with, I put some fescue and Gertrude grass out there. So, these are some of the ones I have up front. I usually have them under the carport, but I moved them out in the sun today. That is a beautiful little bush Goliath cutting that I got off of that plant that got wrecked. And that is this is my Cherokee Purple. I really want to grow those plants. This one has not responded well, but it has, of late, it has started to respond. It should be much bigger than that and ready to make tomatoes, but it just has not enjoyed the climate yet. That is a Better Boy cutting off of my dad's plant. I have high hopes for that. It's going to be fantastic. These are all cuttings. Everything in this little run I'm showing you is cuttings. It's Creole. These are all 3 Creole cuttings. This is beefsteak. And that is a beautiful beefsteak. One more beefsteak. And this is the beefsteak Creole hybrid that I cross-pollinated myself this year and harvested the seeds. Now, what I have also is I have 3 plants in this little, it actually was a flower bed. I converted it to a tomato bed because I wanted to put these 3 types of plants out here, and I'm gonna just mix and match. I'm gonna pollinate them all with each other and see what I come up with. This is a beefsteak. That's a Creole. And this is aroma. My sister gave me, my sister Dawn, she gave me a few Roma plants, and this is the survivor out of the Roma plants that she gave me. Now, I love these plants here. I have some flowers also given to me by my parents' neighbor, who's a fantastic lady. Maybe I'll have